Now we're on to chapter 47, Calm Before the Storm. The evening air cascaded through the mountains and brought a chill to Bree's body. She sat in a chair on the stone terrace of the Temple of the Ether. She pulled the fur blanket Samuel had given her up to her chin and looked out over Goal. She, Blaze, and Odiana had appeared on the terrace a few hours ago after escaping from the water temple and Regan's blockade at the base of the Pyramid of Ap. Exhaustion soon washed over them, and the trio agreed to rest at the Temple of the Ether for the time being. Samuel had left shortly after they arrived. He walked into the pool of water at the center of the temple and sank into it, no doubt traveling to one of the various worlds that he had access to. It was quiet in the temple and the surrounding area. To the east, Bree could see the peak of the Pyramid of Ap, no longer covered in ice, but shimmering with water cascading from the peak. She made a note to return to the water temple one day to see how it would look free from the curse of the ice. She heard footsteps approaching and saw Blaze. She smiled. "How are you?" she asked. "Tired," he replied, sitting next to her. He glanced at her wrist, with both the Vitarian and the Porphyrian bracelets. "How did you get the bracelet to get fixed?" Odiana said that the Stardust can repair magic and mystical items. I took a chance and placed the bracelet inside. When Regan and his pirates were surrounding us, I put my hand inside the tinderbox and felt that it was fixed. She showed him the bracelet, all 4 symbols now glowing. "What about Arian?" Bree shrugged. "We will find a use for him once we restore the ether and take back Goal." They were silent for a while, watching the dusk turn to night and the stars appear. In the distance, Bree could see the double dark moons begin to rise. "I still can't get over that this world has 2 moons, and that they're dark," she sighed. "I wonder once this is all over, will I ever get to go back home to Passerelle and see Aunt Margaret again?" "Samuel said he could travel to and see into other realms, so maybe he could help you check in on Aunt Margaret." Bree nodded to him, reached over and scratched behind his ear. "You're a wonderful companion, Blaze." There was more silence for a while before Blaze asked, "What happens tomorrow?" "We go into the Castle Goal and restore the ether." "And what about Ziram and Regan?" It took a while to answer, but Bree summoned up the courage to say it. "If they try and stop me, I may have to kill them." Blaze sighed. "Did you ever think that when you came to Goal that you would be doing this?" Bree chuckled. "You asked me a couple weeks ago when I was out on the Passerelle harbor with Mr. Compton, fishing for squid, if I would expect to be doing this today, I would have said you were crazy. I think you would have freaked out that your stuffed dog was talking to you." After a moment, both of them burst into laughter. Once it subsided, Bree stood up tall and stretched. "Let's find Odiana and tell her our plans." Blaze nodded. The next day, Samuel waited patiently for Bree to join him on the terrace overlooking Goal. Blaze and Odiana were already there, talking quietly. After a few minutes, Bree's footsteps echoed as she ascended the staircase. He turned to see her arrive on the upper floor of the Temple of Ether and approached them. "Are you ready?" he asked. "I think so," Bree replied as she adjusted her outfit and hip pack. She did not bring the backpack this time. "Since Blaze remembers the castle, he will take us to the secluded part of the East Garden beyond the walls, where we can sneak in. I hope the pirates haven't changed too much of the layout." Samuel reached over and placed his hands on her shoulder, drawing her attention to him. "Be careful. Both Ziram and Regan will test you. You're no longer taking the lives of monsters now, but you'll have to face your own kind." "They took my parents' lives," she began. "Which doesn't mean you have to seek vengeance," Samuel finished. "You're there to restore the ether, and since the ether can destroy them for you, I know full well about what happens when you take a life. I'm one of the last, if not the last Halo, who survived our own civil war. I had to kill many of my kind, and I live with that pain. Ziram is something more than just a wizard, and Regan and his pirates are simply pawns in his game. Be careful you don't start down that path yourself." Bree forced a smile. "I won't. Thanks again for taking us in." She turned for a moment and then glanced back at Samuel. "How did Aunt Margaret know the Ballad of Arian?" Samuel gave Bree a knowing smile. "Passerelle and Goal have many connections that can be whispered throughout the realms. Did you really think we sent you there without knowing exactly who would find you? Without making sure you were raised by the right person and given the right hints about who you are and where you came from?" He winked at her. She wasn't sure it answered the question, but knowing that Samuel and her parents did enough planning for her journey to Passerelle gave her comfort. She nodded as she walked over and crouched near Blaze. As Odiana stood on her shoulder, Bree held the Vitarian bracelet out, and Blaze nudged the center symbol, causing them to teleport. Doo-doo-doo.